Hello and welcome to the Avonlea Knits podcast. My name is Martha and this is episode 12. We are going to talk about all things knitting and crafting today. I cannot believe it's been 2 weeks since I podcasted last. Time is just flying by. The snowman in the classroom is going over so well. The kids are still writing to it. And I'm still writing back to them and cannot wait for their little spring gift. I wasn't going to start with it, but since I'm talking about it, after looking through lots of projects or patterns, I have decided on the drops design for this little bunny, and I'm just using Bernat Premium worsted weight, and pretty much I'm just gonna knit this following the same stitch count and needles, I think, with the worsted. I'm not actually sure what weight of yarn you're supposed to use. I don't know what weight Drops Baby Merino is, but I'm going to do it with worsted and just see what happens. I might not make the clothing. I might just make the bunny. Kind of like how the snowman doesn't have any clothing other than his hat and scarf. I might just do the bunny, but we'll see how that goes. I went for a gray. I was kind of envisioning like a nice beige, like a light beige. They didn't have that at Walmart, so slim pickings on colors, so I had to go for gray. But I think gray will look really nice. Just a nice neutral color. So I'm going to start on that in the next day or two. I'm working on other things at the moment, trying to finish other things. So I'm going to start that soon. But I have, like, Easter isn't till April 20th, and we're just starting Lent this week. So Lent starts on Wednesday, is Ash Wednesday. So then we start the 40 days of Lent to Easter. So I have all of March and half of April to finish, because there are 40 days in Lent, excluding Sundays, and Easter is very, very late this year. So I've got lots of time. I can manage it. March break is next week. So that's what I'm going to start, maybe today or tomorrow. And then what else? Oh, I have been loving my little lip gloss holder. Sorry, I'm trying to not show what school I work at. I did this in DK weight. So it's the same needle size and stitch count. It turned out the same as holding fingering double. And I used this beautiful rainbow yarn from Richard DeVries. I also have like an idea for a cowl. Obviously, like, the lip gloss holder takes hardly any yarn. So I have started a cowl. I have an idea for a pattern. I'm not really sure how the lace is going to work out, because I don't currently see the stitch pattern that I'd like to use. So I'm like thinking that I'll be like creating that myself. But I at least got the ribbing done, and so I can experiment with the lace afterwards. But I love that I've got this much done. I love how it knits up. Also, we have to talk about this right here. It's Hot Mess Express and Yarn Barf. I have a yarn winder, and this is what it does to it. So It will wind. So I honestly might have to roll this because I'm pulling from the middle. I might have to pull from the outside and hand roll it into a ball the old-fashioned way. Very Little House on the Prairie, Road to Avonlea. Except nobody's there holding the wool like this because it's already caked up. So it will start winding on the winder, but then all of a sudden that like pole that's in the middle that it's winding on, it will stop winding on the ball and it will start to flip off and wind up here just around in a circle. And that's why I have all of this. So I'm looking for suggestions of yarn winders because the one that I have is not very good. And yeah, it's not doing the job. And I love using a cake. And I have like a little yarn buddy thing that you put a cake on and you pull from the outside that I crocheted in the summer. And I really want to use them if I remember to not pull from the middle of the ball. But also you have to have a cake that actually is not yarn barfed like this. So yeah, this is just terrible to work with. Partly why I like using a cake is you really get to see like how much you have left. So yeah, this really sucks. But Richard DeVries's yarn, oh my god. And this rainbow color, oh, so good. And there's like quite a bit, purple is my favorite color. That's why everything Avonlea knits is purple. But there's like quite a bit of purple in here and I love it. So I'm working or will be working on this. Like it's really going to take some experimentation to see like how the lace is going to work out. But this, it's coming along. It was a spur of the moment project. This was originally, I wanted my lip gloss holder to be, I was envisioning it in a rainbow colored yarn, and then I used some other like leftover stuff from my stash to make like the first prototypes, and then I've just clipped the one that I made and had on another bag, and now I have my rainbow one on my school keys. And the kids, I had it the other day in class in the morning. I was just helping out a friend, and so I was sewing on the little snaps in the morning. And the kids were all like, "What's that? What are you making?" And I was like, "Oh, it's just for my lip gloss for my keys." But they really liked seeing what I was working on. So I've got that. I have been forging ahead on the next project in my 4-part series inspired by like nature and the seasons in Muskoka. So this is what I have for summer. I'm not going to share too much about it right now because the spring one hasn't even been released. But I will talk a little bit about this now because by the time this one is released, you'll have forgotten about it. So I will talk about it more in depth in the summer. But this is a one skein project. It uses Shellridge yarns, fingering weight. You can't get this colorway anymore. This is called Loons on the Lake, which might give you a little hint as to the inspiration for this pattern, which I'm going to save for the summer. But it's just a beautiful little shawl with eyelets and like a base of stockinette stitch with rows of garter and rows of eyelets. It's asymmetrical, and it's just gonna be like a cute little one skeiner just for around your neck. So I'm almost done. As you can see, it's a super easy pattern. It's the garter section, the garter row section and the eyelet section are both 4-row repeats. So they're pretty easy to, it's easy to memorize, easy to work on. It's a great little project to take with you on the go that's not like super big, but also you can do while you're doing other things. So I've been knitting this at school, at meetings, like school on my lunchtime. I just was knitting it at meetings, at book club, and it fits perfectly in my little medium drawstring Anne of Green Gables bag from the kitchen sink shop. Yeah. So I have this much left. So I'm just gonna knit till it's done, like till I am out of yarn. So that is coming this summer. So stay tuned. I'm really pleased with how it's turning out, and kind of excited to have a photo shoot with this one. Will require going to a lake. So yeah, this is just, it's a fun little shawl, and it'll be a great summer project for like those one special skein of yarn that you find at like a fiber festival, because those are coming up soon. So I want to finish this before I get started like designing this and working on my bunny. So that has been what I've been focusing on. I also just went into my backpack to get my key or my lanyard, and there's like 2 abandoned projects in there. I have a gratitude shawl in a project bag made with fingering weight yarn. That's just kind of like my project that if I end up like doing something with my friend after school, like staying at her house for a cup of tea or like going out, I have something in my backpack. I think there's also project bag in the very bottom with socks in it that are just 2 at a time on magic loop. But again, those are just like projects I don't care about. They're just in there to they're just in there for when I have my backpack and I've forgotten to bring something else. I have something. I've not gotten any further on the winter project because I want to finish, or I wanted to finish spring and summers first. So I will be plugging away at this afterwards. And again, like the pattern is pretty much written. I just have to knit it up and write how many pattern repeats, and then the project is done. Oh, I will say the lip gloss holder, I need a nice name for it. The pattern is coming. My friend is just testing it for me. So as soon as she's tested it, like if there's anything I need to change, I'll put it on there, and then I will be releasing that. So probably within the next couple of weeks. It's like a super quick, I knit it up in an evening, and then I blocked it, and then the next day I sewed on the snaps. I did the snaps first, and then I sew the snaps on first, I fold them over, or I clip it on, I sew the snaps on, then I put it over the carabiner, fasten the snap, and then I just sew the little channel for it to stay on the carabiner. But that is that. I'm super pleased with how it turned out, and it solved the problem of wanting to carry around my lip gloss and never having like a pocket or somewhere to put it. I wanted it to be like, I have like a lip chap holder, but it doesn't fit tall lip glosses. So that is that. The pattern will be coming out soon. What else? It's been kind of slow on the project front recently. Oh, I'll talk about what I'm wearing. This, I have to stand up, is, and it's not even gonna get everything. This is the Le Puff sweater. You can't see all of it. It's just a little cropped. It's just a little cropped number. I went a little bit longer at the back. It is raglan. I don't remember who designed it, but if you just put in Le Puff to Ravelry, you'll find it. It's fingering held double, and so I used Lizzie Ann's Anne of Green Gables clubs for this. And I was able to marl from a very light blue to like a cream into a light purple into more of a dark purple on the sleeves as well. It's quite a bit more cropped than I would usually wear, and if I'd had more yarn, I would have extended the body a little bit, but it's also got like one of those it's not a split hem, but it's got some short rows at the back, so it's a little bit, it's shorter at the front but a little longer at the back. And yeah, I love it. Actually, it's a really cute sweater. I just wish it was longer. They also have a cardigan version, which actually, like, I've been trying to think of what to do with my Anne of Green Gables club of like 8 skeins from Peggy May Yarns, and actually like quite a few of, there's a few that I wouldn't put in to a project like this, but there's quite a few that have like browns and oranges and greens and yellows that might make a nice fade to do the cardigan, because I really enjoyed knitting this a few years ago when I made it. So that's what I'm wearing. And yeah, I'm trying to think of like if there are any other projects that I have going on. But no, the last thing is my cross stitch, and this will be the last time I show it, I think, before I finish it. I have the two people, it's 2 people in a canoe on Sunset, and there's the picture in the back. So I just have the background to finish now, and then get it framed, photograph it, and then gift it. I sent a picture to my friend last night and I was like, I finished the canoers, and I'm like, this is the last time you're gonna see it before it's done. So this has been probably one of the best. It's really hard when you make gifts for people. I think this is one of the best gifts that I've made, because like this is the original picture behind me. I was there for that moment. I took that picture actually. And I don't know, I just think it's a really meaningful gift, and I would rather make things than buy things for people. So I'm super excited to keep working on this and like finishing it. It always takes way longer than you expect, and like, I don't know, looking at it now, when I first started and I started every section with the black, you really couldn't tell that it was anything, like just from this big band of black and with this little band of black. But once on Christmas break, the second week, when I started the bottom and I put in the first canoer, and then I started the background, and like now that I see it like from a distance, and it's really hard to tell like when you're working on it up close, you don't really see, like now that I'm looking at it in the camera, and I've seen this picture every day since July, it's been sitting on my piano, like I can really see like the reflection in there of the trees, and I can see the reflection of the sunset in the water, and like it's turning out so good. So I can't wait to like finish the background. But last night, finishing the second canoer and the canoe, like this is the heart of the photo. Like, are these 2 people in a canoe? This is what the picture is like all about. And so for the longest time just working on the top half and just working on the sunset and the sky and the tree line. I wasn't working on the heart of the photo. I wasn't working on, you know, these two people that are, you know, very near and dear to my friend's heart. And so it just like didn't really look like much. And then over Christmas break, I did the first knitwear and I'm like, oh, I can start to see it now. And then last night finishing the second one, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is going to be so good. It's really starting to come together. So that is the other thing that I've been working really, really hard on. So I try and split my time between knitting and cross stitching. So yeah, that is that. I'm really excited to finish this and get it framed and see the whole thing all together, because there's quite a bit up here that I've had to just cover. I'm just using a piece of felt so that the hoop doesn't damage it or discolor it, because there's a bit of discoloration on my Ada down here that I'll have to like wipe off with a cloth, but then it will be framed, so it won't be in here anyway. But yeah, I can't wait to finish this. It's taken way longer than expected, and I didn't touch it much in November because I was really sick, battling God only knows whatever viruses I had. But I can't wait to finish. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I just think this is a really good, like, if you give yourself time, like, I overshot my time. I really thought that I would get, I don't know why I thought I would get this whole thing done in a summer. And this is like the size of an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. But if you give yourself time and you cross stitch, putting a picture into a website that will transpose it into a pattern, and you can choose the size and you can choose how many colors, is really great, because I look to try and do really meaningful gifts. And so, yeah, I think this is a really great way to like make up your own like cross stitch kit. And I already had the Ada, and all I had to do was buy the colors of embroidery floss, and then I'm gonna get it framed. So, because it's kind of an awkward size, it's like a little bit bigger than a piece of paper. So, and I've put all this work into it, and then I've got a little note, and I have the picture, and then this is a note, I'm just not showing it, that will go on the back, laminated, just to like say this is the picture, when it was taken, when and where it was taken, who's in it, and then my note of like, this is why I did this. So that is the other thing that I've been working really hard on. And other than that, that has been it. Not too much. I did start spinning. I have a spinning wheel, and we're teaching the kids a traditional French song about sort of like the whole process of wool, from shearing the sheep to washing the wool to carding it, spinning it, weaving with it. And so at some point I might be taking my spinning wheel in to show the class. So I started spinning last night. It did not go over so well. It's been a while since I've spun because I was healing my sprained ankle in the fall, and then I got sick. But I pulled out my wool yesterday to start. It is very difficult, so there's something not quite right in what I'm doing, but I've started a little bit, and I'm going to take my wheel to the guild on March break, and the ladies there are always very eager to help me and teach me all the tips and tricks for spinning, so I'm going to get back into that as well. gosh, it feels like trying to get all this stuff done is a full-time job. So that is what I'm going to do. And I think that is everything for this week. And I will see you again in 2 weeks. Hopefully I will have the bunny done. I'll have my little shawl done. I'll have more of this winter project done. I've got some socks that I want to work on. And maybe I'll have this partially done. Lofty ambitions for March break that I'm just going to work on knitting projects. I'm also going to work on some graphics for putting on like t-shirts, clothing, mugs, sweaters, bags. So I will get back into that. I'm going to take some dedicated time and do some computer work on March break to like keep going with that, update my website. So yeah, that is that. I will see you again in 2 weeks when I hopefully will have a few more projects done. So go and enjoy the sun is shining here. Go and enjoy the sunshine and that kiss of spring that we are having. And I will see you back here in 2 weeks.